Yo guys, Kieran Hedley here. Today we're going to do the 3 shoulder exercises you should be doing. These are exercises I really recommend because not only are they going to help develop your shoulders, they're not going to just strengthen them, and they're not going to have more endurance, okay, that's quite a lot already, but they're also going to translate into other exercises as well, like your pushing exercise and your pulling exercises. So this is actually going to help across the board, so it's really great. Anyway guys, let's get into it.
Everything changes.
Alright, so exercise number 1, so the standing OHP, it is the classic shoulder movement. It is a very, very important movement if you want to develop strength in the shoulders, because it's going to be the movement, apart from maybe the seated OHP, where you can actually get the most development in the shoulder and most strength in the shoulder, just because it's such a big compound movement, just involving the entire body. That's why I like to do it standing. So once you've established your grip, make sure your wrists stay straight and don't actually flex them too far backwards, otherwise they're going to get quite sore. If they get sore, get some wrist straps. So what you're going to do now is you're going to brace your entire body, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core, completely contract your quads, okay, so your knees are almost completely locked out. Now engage your lats by squeezing your elbows slightly in front of you, okay. Your elbows actually want to be 30 degrees in front of your shoulder, because not only is this going to help activation through the lats and therefore stabilize yourself a lot better, so therefore getting more strength in the movement because we're a lot tighter in the movement, but you're also going to create more space in the shoulder. So in that ball and socket joint, the glenoid cavity of the shoulder is going to have more space to move around, so the humerus head can move around without creating impingement and problems there. So now once everything's engaged, all you're doing is you're literally just moving your head out of the way, pushing the bar directly upwards. Hopefully the bar is just moving in a straight line, and you're just moving your head out of the way in order to compensate for where the bar's moving. Now once you've got full extension, I want you to push your head through and get complete lockout at the top, and then control on the way down. And then what I will do when I start to get a little bit fatigued, I will get a little micro bounce in the knees in order to get the weight moving, and then actually focus on that negative. So now that we've covered the anterior delt, so that's basically that's your front delt, right? So that's what we're going to be using mainly when we're doing the overhead press. So you will use a little bit of your lateral head, so that's the side of your delt, and that's kind of the round portion that you're going to get on your shoulder. So you will be using a little bit of that, but we're going to actually focus on that on the next exercise, which is a single arm dumbbell lateral raise. One of my favorite ever exercises to do. The reason being, I'm going to get into in a second, okay? So I'm going to explain how to do the exercise first. So what you're going to do is grab onto something stable, so something like another machine or something like a pole or anything like that, and you're just going to hold on to that, lean out sideways, so about 30 degrees sideways, and you're just going to pull the weight out as if you were going to do just a normal lateral raise, but obviously with one arm. Keep your shoulder back, lead with the elbow, okay, because if you're leading with your wrist, you're just going to be trying to use your trap, and that's not what we want. So when you're doing shoulder exercises, that's all that you feel. Then I want you to do trap release, which is something I might do in another video. I'm going to explain it quickly. Basically, you just want to apply pressure to your traps a lot before you perform shoulder exercises, and that's just going to take the activation away from your traps, put it onto the shoulders. So that's one thing you can do. But with this exercise, making sure that you're leading with that elbow, keep your pinky up slightly higher than your thumb, but at the bottom, but then when you come to the top, I want you to externally rotate, because this is actually healthy movement for the shoulder, and you're actually going to hit a bit of the rear delt as well, so your posterior delt as well. So that's why I like to do that, and then you just get that more full feeling in that shoulder. Make sure you come all the way up to the shoulder level before controlling down slowly. Now, you're going to go heavy. The reason why is because you're actually going to use bounce to get it up and control it down, because the eccentric phase of the movement creates so much stimulus in the muscle. It is so important to actually control this movement that people just completely forget this and neglect it, and actually lose all benefits they get from this part of the movement. Now finally, something that's focused more on the posterior delt, the rear deltoid, okay, we're going to be doing TRX flies, so we can do W flies, T flies, and Y flies, okay. I'm just going to go onto the reverse fly, which is the T fly, and the Y fly. They're the only ones I'm going to really cover. So basically the reverse fly is like a T. You're basically creating a T, keeping your chest up, so almost imagine you're pulling up the crest of your chest up into the air, up towards your chin, and by doing that you're actually going to pull your scapula back and retract it. So that's actually something that you can do, a little cue that you can remember, okay. And now when you're doing that, keeping your shoulders down and your lats engaged so your shoulders don't hunch up, and just pulling with your elbows, okay. So use your elbows as a pulling force and pull them to the side. By doing that, your entire body will come up, and when you do that, I want you to lower yourself down as slowly as possible. You can use bounce again to get yourself up, because I do sometimes, and then lower yourself down. So the further away your feet are from your body, the more load you're going to have and the harder the exercise is going to be. So you want to start easy and then work your way up. It is quite a hard exercise, so I recommend starting easy. And then what you're doing is you're switching between the Y fly, which you'll see in this exercise. So that's going directly above in a 45-degree angle into a Y, like you're doing YMCA, right? So it's pretty cool. And then yeah, you're just switching between this two constantly, just because it's going to hit the read delt slightly differently. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful and insightful. Honestly, try out these shoulder movements. That main compound one at the start, the OHP, standing OHP, is something that I try do every week, because again, okay, this is actually going back to the start of the video where it says it translates to other exercises. Alright, this actually translates to your bench press. So apparently, I think it's Charles Poliquin, it is Charles Poliquin that said this. He says that ideally, if your overhead press isn't 79% of your bench press, so your 1RM bench press, then you've actually got potential to grow your bench press even more without even working on it. Basically, you can put all your focus onto the OHP, then once you've done that, reach 79% of your 1RM on your bench press on that OHP, then you can come back to the bench press and then perform the bench press, and you'll feel a lot stronger, just because anterior delt is such a huge factor on the bench press. And if you're not developing that properly and you're not getting the strength base of the anterior delt, your bench press is going to suffer. So that's one of the things. And then things like doing the rear fly, they're going to help your rows, your deadlifts with the engagement, for scapular engagement. Things like the lateral flies is also going to help with a lot of pressing movements and pulling movements as well. So, sorry for all this like kind of splurge of information, but I hope it was helpful. Watch it again if you didn't quite understand some of the things. Honestly, just leave a comment if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I'll explain. And subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed it. Again, you don't have to, but it's always there if you want to. And yeah, that's it basically. I think there's not really much else to say. I think that's it. Thanks guys. Yeah, now have a good day. Chur, I'm out. Catch you later.